I think the biggest news locally the last couple of days was the fact that Portland just finally bought themselves out of the Deandre Ayton contract. In no shocking development, he was able to, at a bargain basement price, find a new home with the Los Angeles Lakers, signing a 2-year deal to join LeBron and Luka, as the Lakers whiffed when the free agent negotiating period started. They couldn't keep Dorian Finney-Smith. They couldn't get another guy to come in to them. So Deandre Ayton slots right into the starting center slot for the Lakers, looking at 25-26. And I'm curious, from Blazer fans' standpoint, what's worse? Seeing Deandre Ayton slide into that and possibly help take the Lakers or ride the coattails of the Lakers on a run, even if he's not playing that bad? Or would it hurt worse if he goes there and balls out?
I mean, does it matter? I don't think that the Lakers winning a championship, if they did, would have any...
Blazer fans are petty.
Blazers fans are petty, but love y'all. Sometimes Blazers fans let their emotions rule and have been telling me for years how good the Luke Babbitts of the world are going to be. Like, if I'm being honest, I don't really trust diehard, and I'm a diehard Blazers fan, but diehard, super rose-colored glasses Blazers fan, I don't trust their barometer. Deandre Ayton is not going to be the piece that takes the Lakers over the top. The fact that LeBron is even whispering that he wants a trade away from one of the best players in the NBA and Luka Doncic is crazy. Like, yes, they needed some ancillary pieces, but dude, you've got a situation there, and essentially you're forced into, because of the high salaries on your cap already, you've got to pay these not great, but like second and third tier guys to come in. They're trading Jackson Hayes, essentially, after the Anthony Davis trade, for Deandre Ayton. And to the point of maybe some success in LA, I think Ayton's the only guy since Dwight Howard to average 10 points and 10 rebounds in his first few years of his career. Yeah. But he's also had attitude problems. And Portland is a place, because there's been so many questions about the vibe, about where this team's going, because of the problems with Chauncey. Portland's a place where he could do that. How long do you think he's going to last in Los Angeles if he comes in and bitches? JJ Redick's going to tell him to get the hell out.
Oh, yeah. Well, Redick, he couldn't play Jackson Hayes
exactly. Before. Yeah, well, he doesn't have the fundamental skills or something that JJ Redick needs.
I just think it's going to be funny. I can't wait for impending just blow up either LeBron screaming at him for not being where he's supposed to be. JJ Redick's not going to put up with any nonsense. No. I've nicknamed him the turnstile here because of all the times he's just sitting in the middle of the key with his arms out, spinning around, wondering where the ball's going.
Doesn't do anything defensively.
He gets most of his rebounds just by being the tallest guy on quick threes that get thrown up. He grabs seemingly 6 or 7 of his 10 rebounds just because he's there. So I think there's a little false advertising in the rebounding totals.
I hear you there.
They are looking at it. The Lakers are looking at it, obviously, from the standpoint of Luka's got somebody who can set him screens. You can keep LeBron on the weak side off ball to occupy defenses, because if everybody rolls to Luka, now he can just grab and go straight downhill, either a little pull-up or get to the rim, and then throw lobs to DeAndre Ayton. And then we'll see what happens, with Austin Reeves and what else they may be looking at doing.
I mean, Ayton's a pick and roll guy, right? Like he was supposed to.
If he can't be successful in this environment, he done.
Well, he's got a very short leash, and I'm sure his management has explained that to him. This was a huge risk. Not really because of the money, because I've said it in my updates. He's literally losing $1 million on his $35 million total that he would have made. Now with his $9 million salary plus the 25 from Portland, he's making 34. So there's not much of a leash here, and I don't think that. I mean, preseason, if he's slamming chairs like he was in Portland, he's essentially, according to that report from Jason Quick to The Athletic, minus all the crimes, he was like the current day J.R. Rider. J.R. Rider back in the day didn't show up to practices on time. He was late to team flights. He was bitching in the locker room.
That's more infuriating to NBA coaches and staff than the off-court whatever nonsense
and
you
the
might be doing.
Blazers kept it under wraps because you go back in like 97, 98, we saw and heard every instance of J.R. Rider's tardiness or whatever. Well, why isn't he playing in the first quarter? Why isn't Rod Strickland playing in the first quarter? Well, PJ Carlesimo had to freaking sit him out because they didn't show up to practice. Like, it's kind of I'm not surprised, but we're now on the third team for a guy. It just kind of gets annoying when you hear, well, it didn't work out in Phoenix. Maybe it'll work out in Portland. Well, it didn't work out in Portland. Maybe it'll work out in L.A. And frankly, it's shocking to me that a professional organization is still willing to take a chance on a guy for millions of dollars, but here we are.
Well, it's little risk. So Bobby Marks of ESPN, friend of the show, chimed in on what it means for the Lakers signing Ayton.
Yeah, I mean, considering where they were about 10 hours ago, it's certainly an improvement here. I mean, we had Jared Vanderbilt as their starting center, and no offense to Jared Vanderbilt, but he's better served coming off the bench. Ayton was the best available center that was left in the free agent market, certainly coming off that buyout here. I think 82% of his shots are field goal percentage at the rim last year. I think the one concern for me is not really a paint presence as far as blocking shots, less than one last year in Portland here, but certainly fills a need, something the Lakers needed. There's still some work to do, especially for that bench. They need some perimeter shooting, but it's a good start for an offseason that started off a little bit slow here.
So there's Bobby Marks, and when Jared Vanderbilt was going to be your starting center, Ayton's certainly an upgrade. We'll see if it works. The other big news from the NBA was Mike Brown stumbled into the head coaching job for the New York Knicks.
Stumbled is right. He was like choice H.
Well, it was more about the Knicks firing Tibbs without a plan, or at least they thought. James Dolan thought he could somehow get Jason Kidd out
Sprague,
of Dallas.
Could you imagine if I broke up with my wife and then I came to you and said, hey, I want to take your wife on a date. You say no? Okay, I'm going to go to Rob. Hey, Rob, can I take Nurse Nice on a date? That is literally what the New York Knicks did. They said, you know what? I'm breaking up. I'm ending my marriage before anything even is solid on the outside, and I'm going to go ask about other people's wives. What the hell were you thinking, Leon
They
Rose?
weren't, and James Dolan hasn't been thinking much since he took over that operation. But nonetheless, the Knicks and the Cavs are still the betting favorites to win the Eastern Conference and get to the NBA Finals. For Mike Brown, now, to Mike Brown's credit, he's been with the Cavs with LeBron. He's been with the Lakers with Kobe. He got the Kings to end the longest NBA playoff drought in recent memory.
Light the beam, baby.
And so he certainly has. I think the Knicks got lucky, quite frankly, that they stumbled into somebody with as much credential as Mike Brown has, as well as he will not be overwhelmed by the media and the attention and the chatter and all the nonsense that goes along with being the Knicks head coach. So it will be interesting to see basketball-wise if they can sort something out and be more democratic offensively and have more options so it's not all on Brunson at the end of a game, and still kind of have that defensive presence that Tibbs was able to give them. It will be interesting to see there. Checking the text line real quick, and you can text in 503-864-6326 on the Fan text line. Is Deandre Ayton worse than Nurkic? Yes.
Oh, by far.
By far.
Yes, Nurkic actually.
Nurk was frustrating as hell because he was that close to being an everyday contributor.
But he actually put in effort compared to the
He put in effort. His problem was more in his fundamentals and mechanics that just drove me up the stinking wall with that. And
plus, he fit right in to the locker room.
I'm well done. Yeah, no, I think Nurk was not a prima donna. Nurk wasn't on his own planet. He very much wanted to be loved and part of the team and all of those things. That was an X's and O's basket. There wasn't an effort issue. Maybe too much effort at times. So, no, Ayton, way more disappointing.
He would bitch on the court, and I think that's like where you would see him, like, He
was emotional. And then it affected his ability to perform.
But literally a drop in effort after a call didn't go his way. That happened quite frequently. I understand maybe why people want to ask, but no, the effort was there. The off-the-court problems weren't nearly what they are with DeAndre Ayton. So, no way.